Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever the case may be. You might recall when we were in the video and looking at the arithmetic principle called addition, I got down towards the end and I remembered a computational strategy called hop, skip, and jump. And I want to go over that again, or not go over it again, but actually go through the hop, skip, and jump strategy. It's actually a strategy that's used more for subtraction than it is for addition. But since it's another way to look at the concept of addition and give the students another way to compute sums, I thought, well, I'd take just a few minutes and share that particular computational strategy for addition. Again, it's called hop, skip, and jump. Before I do that, let me remind you once again that computational strategies for whatever the operations, arithmetic, of addition, multiplication, subtraction, or division, these computational strategies are designed to do one of three things. If you have an arithmetic expression that you're trying to compute, what you want to do is you want to modify that arithmetic principle in such a way so as to take advantage of friendly numbers, single-digit arithmetic, or power 10 arithmetic. In fact, all computational strategies will attempt to do one, two, or all three of those things. So again, let's take a moment and let me, by way of this PowerPoint presentation, let me remind you again of the arithmetic principle called addition. You start out with, as I have here on the display, three groups of objects, one with 8 objects in it, the second one with 5 objects in it, a third one with 11 objects in it. And the addition principle says, okay, if I were to take those three groups of objects and merge them together into a single group, and I'm going to do that in an animated way, so I'm going to form a single group by taking the first group, putting it down into one set that I'm eventually going to call the target set. I'm going to do the same thing for the second group, take all the beach balls or the colored balls and merge those down into that set, and finally take the third set of 11, merge those down into the single set called the target set. And what we want to know is we want to know the size of that set, the target set. Now, how we determine that size, that becomes a computational strategy. And the one computational strategy we want to look at during this little video session is the one called hop, skip, and jump. And let's just look at a couple of problems. The first one will be 73 plus 59 equals how much? What's the size of the target set? So if I have two groups, one of size 73, one of size 59, and I merge those together, I want to know the size of the target set. Well, the hop, skip, and jump strategy is really an extension of the counting on strategy. Remember, in the counting on strategy that kindergartners and first graders are presented with, if they're given something as simple as 7 plus 9, I have two groups, one with 7 objects, one with 9 objects, and I want to know the size of the target set after I merge those two groups together. What we do is we coach them to take the larger number, which in this case is 9, and then they add on to the 7. So they always start with a larger number. So they go 9, and if you'll watch me, I'll do this with my fingers. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So they know that 9 plus 7 or 7 plus 9 is 16. And they did that by counting on. Well, I'm going to extend that strategy to larger numbers. And the two numbers we're looking at right now on our smart board is 73 plus 59. Well, 73 is the larger of these two numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of look at a number line. And I'm going to start with, of course, the larger number, 73. And what I'm going to do is start adding to the 73 portions of 59 that are easy for me to add. Now, here's where the individuality comes into play. The students may decide that they're comfortable in taking 10 from the 59 and writing that as 49, and taking that 10 and adding to the 73 and jump up to 83. So they've got 73 added 10, got to 83, and now they've got 49 more to add on. And they might say, well, I can do this pretty quickly. I'm going to take 20 off of that and get down to 29, and 20 added on to 83 is 103. And then they may take, well, I'm still, things are pretty easy for me to add in increments of 10. And so they may add 20 more and go up to 20 added on to 103 is 123. And then finally they have 9 more left to add on. And so they know when they add 9 on to 123, it's almost like adding 10, which would give me 133. Except it backs up 1 because I'm only adding 9 instead of 10, so it becomes 122. So adding 73 and 59 should give me, unless I've done this wrong, let me look at it again to make sure I've done this. 73, add 10, that's down to 49, that gives me 83. Add 20, that's down to 29, that gives me 103. Add 20 more, that's 123. Oh, when I added the 10, it doesn't give me 122, it gives me 132. So if I added 10 to 123, it would give me 133, but I really only added 9, so I have to back up 1 to get 132. Now, that's if the students choose to add by increments of 10. What if you have a student who does the following when they want to add 73 to 59? Again, they're always going to start with the larger of the two numbers because that's what they were coached or trained to do in kindergarten and first grade. Now this time I'm starting with 73, but this student this time, I'm going to keep track of what I'm adding to the 73. I'm going to add 7 because I know this kid knows that if he adds 7 to 73, he gets up to 80. So I'm going to take the 59, take away 7, and get down to 52. So he's taking care of 7. And then he's going to say, well, I want to jump up to 80. So I'm going to add 20 to 80 and get up to 100. And since I took 20 away from 52, that takes it down to 32. And now I'm up to 100. Well, it's easy to add 32 to 100. So I'm going to go ahead and add all of 32 to 100 to get 132. Now, how kids use the hop, skip, and jump strategy depends on the kid, what they are comfortable with. And the idea is to extend the counting on strategy that they learn in kindergarten and first grade and add up in increments that they are comfortable with, remembering to take away that portion that they're adding on to the 73. So let's try another example. Let's take a little bigger example. Let's take 88 plus 136. And again, we are illustrating the strategy called hop, skip, and jump. Let me write it out here to remind you. Hop, skip, and jump. And so the idea for that phrase hop, skip, and jump is we hop small increments like in ones, in the numbers that are less than 10, let's say 9 single-digit numbers. We're skipping, we'll probably skip by tens, or say blocks of tens, 20, 30. And jumping, we might be jumping by hundreds, 200s, 300s, something like that. Again, in finding the sum of 88 and 136, I'm going to start with, of course, the larger of the two numbers. So I'm going to start with 136. And now working with the 88, I'm going to write the 88 down here in the lower right-hand corner. So here's 88. And I'm going to start adding portions of 88 onto 136. Well, I want to get the 136 to the first real nice friendly number, and that's 140. And of course, all I have to add on to the 136 to get to 140 is 4. So I've taken care of 4. That means I'm down to working with 84. I have 84 left to add on. And it could be 140. This particular kid thinks, oh, I can jump all the way to 200 because all I need is 60 to do that. So they'll come over and say, well, I'm going to take 60 away from 84, and 60 away from 84 is 24 because they removed 60. So they jump 60. Actually, they skip 60 to get from 140 to 200. So they used up 60 of what was left of the 88. And so it took the 84, reduced it by 60, got down to 24. So they're up to 200. Now they have 24 left. They're at 200, which is a very friendly number. And so they're just going to add all of the 24 on up there. So they'll just take the 200, add 24 on. That depletes the number that they were adding on to begin with, which was the 88. And so they get 224. And so 224 is the sum of 88 plus 136. So again, the hop, skip, and jump strategy is an extension of the counting on strategy and allows the students to start with, say, the larger of two numbers and start incrementing or piling on or adding on to that large number in parts that they feel comfortable with. And usually they take advantage of friendly numbers. So they're going to move from the larger number up in increments that get them to friendly numbers. And so with a little practice, you should be able to be pretty good hop, skip, and jumpers when it comes to adding a pair of numbers, remembering to always start with the larger of the two numbers, because that's what we've coached our kindergarten and first grade kids to do.